Why, hello there, and welcome to Merry Wednesday, a weekly podcast where every day is a holiday. I'm Sam, and I'm here to help you celebrate. There are holidays every single day, celebrating food and drinks and activities, and some that are just pure nonsense. But have you ever wondered why they're holidays, or who made them up, or maybe just wondered how to celebrate? That's where this podcast comes in. Depending on the holiday, I may have some recipes or games or other fun stuff like that, and each episode will be chock full of fun facts for you to share with your kids, your parents, your colleagues, or anyone else who wants to listen. Trust me, your water cooler conversations are going to be great. This podcast is a project that I've been wanting to do for about 4 years now, and has finally become a reality with no small thanks to my incredible husband and graphic designer, Ian, and my amazing producer, Charlie. My dream here is to give you a nice, safe haven to help you get through the middle of the week, learn a little something, and have fun doing it. What could be more fun than celebrating your day just because you can? And oh, do I have a celebration for you. But before we dive into today's holiday, I just need to touch on an important issue about, quote, national holidays, since they come up pretty frequently. An official national holiday would be a holiday established by your nation's government on which all businesses are required to close. And as much as I think it would be hilarious to close down the whole country to celebrate every single food-related holiday or other similar nonsense, that's not the case here. The United States doesn't actually have any official national holidays, and instead has federal holidays, which are holidays on which government employees are not required to work and require legislation to be passed to go into effect. For reference, the most recent federal holiday passed in the United States was Juneteenth, which, while it had been a holiday for some time, was not made into an official federal holiday until 2021. The last holiday that was made federal before that was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which was made into a federal holiday in 1986. So you can see that this is not a common occurrence. All that being said, you'll find most of the holidays I'll cover on this podcast tend to have national in front of them anyway. I guess people just think it sounds cooler. Admittedly, it does. So our very first national holiday is today, March 15th, 2023. And we're celebrating National Egg Cream Day. Now, let's be clear. I love egg creams. They are just delightful. They're so pleasant and lightly sweet and just a little bit carbonated. There's really nothing like them. And they're definitely an acquired taste, but once you acquire that taste, it's something you just need from time to time. And I would say that the best part of them is that the name makes no sense at all, since there's no egg or cream in them. But that's because I'm a lunatic, and I love nonsensical stuff like that. But they're so hard to find. So let me get into why. The popularity of the egg creams peaked in the 1950s, and specifically in and around Brooklyn, New York. They used to have them at soda shops, and they were made by someone called a soda jerk. Believe it or not, the reasoning behind that title was not meant to be mean, but is actually a play on the real title, a soda clerk, and refers to the jerking action of pulling the handle to turn the soda machines on and off. But if you're really hoping to find an egg cream, Brooklyn is still the best place, though they can be found at some diners or Jewish delis outside of Brooklyn. I know this because I order one whenever I see them on a menu. It's made from syrup, milk, and carbonated water. Other syrups or flavorings can be used, but chocolate syrup is the most traditional. I'm partial to vanilla myself. But do note that some of the more acidic, fruity syrups have the potential to curdle the milk. When it's mixed together, it's a nice, creamy drink with a foamy head on top. So you have to be wondering, if there's no egg or cream in an egg cream, why call it that? Excellent question! But there's no great answer. There's lots of theories. One theory is that it came from someone asking for a Parisian drink called chocolat et crème, and the New York accent caused it to be misinterpreted as chocolate egg cream. Another theory is that it's mispronounced Yiddish. I have found mentions of it being echt cream, where echt is translated to really good, so really good cream. But I've also found it referred to as echt kiem, which translates to pure sweetness. I like the idea of a drink being called pure sweetness, but I'm going to have to disagree with this theory, since egg creams are really not very sweet at all. Yet another explanation is that at the time, eggs were added to drinks for texture. So the theory is that it used to contain an egg, but no longer does. And interestingly enough, even with only 3 ingredients, there is still some debate as to how to make an egg cream, mostly in which order to mix the ingredients. So different shops would sell slightly different egg creams. Unfortunately, egg creams have declined in popularity significantly due to the fact that they're a bit more labor-intensive than your average soda or even chocolate milk, and that the soda shops where they originated are no longer commonplace. Back when soda shops were popular, they were about as common as ice cream shops are now. In fact, as people may meet up with friends at coffee shops now, back then, it was very common to meet up at a soda shop. They were often found in drugstores, and you can get ice cream or light sandwiches there in addition to soda. It was a great way for drugstores to get additional income. And before you start to furrow your brow in confusion at the idea of your local CVS or Walgreens having a little stand selling milkshakes and ice cream, like I did when I did my research on this episode, think of it more like a gas station shop with a Dunkin' inside. The idea is similar, it's just the execution that's changed. So how did today become National Egg Cream Day? National Egg Cream Day has been celebrated on March 15th since 2012 and was founded by someone named Gregory Cohen. This guy's really cool. The whole premise of National Egg Cream Day is meant to keep the idea of egg creams and soda fountains alive. And wow, is he doing a good job. Gregory Cohen is the owner of an establishment called Lofty Pursuits in Tallahassee, Florida. And I use the word establishment because it's not really a restaurant or a toy store or an ice cream shop or a place to gather and play board games. It's kind of all of them put together. According to their website, they're, quote, less of a store and more of a performance art project. They even make Victorian-style candy in the shop. They were named one of the top 10 things to do in Tallahassee Magazine. Basically, this place sounds cool enough to make me mad that I don't live anywhere near Tallahassee, but I would love to plan a trip there someday. If you've been there before, I would love to hear all about your experience. Now, on to how to celebrate National Egg Cream Day. Have an egg cream, of course. You may have trouble finding one, even in these days where you can get food delivery from pretty much anywhere, but they're definitely worth a try. Even in the places in my area that have egg creams, they won't deliver them. Though, frankly, I can't blame them. The whole point of an egg cream is to get it at a soda fountain, and it likely wouldn't travel well. Since there is pride and debate into how to properly make an egg cream, I think letting it sit in a car rather than drinking it immediately would be frowned upon. I even looked into buying bottled ones, which, while generally understood to be sacrilegious, would at least be something. But they only seem to come up as an idea. Unfortunately, it sounds like a shelf-stable egg cream has yet to be a readily accessible reality. But if you're determined to celebrate properly, you can always make one for yourself, and for that, you'll need a recipe. I'll make sure to post this in the show notes so that you can get back to it later, but here's a pretty classic recipe. You'll need whole milk, because it makes the best foam, plain seltzer, and Fox's You Bet brand chocolate syrup, because it's from Brooklyn, where the egg cream originated and will be the most authentic, though any kind of chocolate syrup should do the trick. Add 2 tablespoons of the chocolate syrup to the bottom of a tall glass and top off with 1/3 of a cup of milk. Mix it together until the chocolate syrup is completely dissolved. Then top off with seltzer and mix vigorously until there's a nice foamy top. And that's it. Drink it with a straw and enjoy. Like I said earlier, I would consider it to be a bit of an acquired taste and not very sweet. But that's the beauty of making it yourself. You can make it as sweet as you'd like. And even if it's not 100% classic, it's not really celebrating if it doesn't make you happy. And you should always prioritize your happiness. You are the most important person in your life, and you deserve good things. And the best news is that even if you don't like it, there's always another holiday to celebrate. Well, I hope you enjoyed both this information and your egg cream if you've been able to get your hands on one. It has truly been a pleasure to get this episode out there. If you have any upcoming Wednesday holidays that you'd like to learn more about, or if you want to tell me about how awesome your egg cream was, or if you've been to Lofty Pursuits in Tallahassee and want to share your experience, please feel free to email me at merrywednesdaypod@gmail.com. You can also check out www.merrywednesday.com, find our page on Facebook called Merry Wednesday, or follow our Instagram page, Merry_Wednesday. I'm really hoping to use a lot of listener feedback and participation in future episodes, so don't be shy. And if you like this episode, please rate and review Merry Wednesday on Apple Podcasts or wherever you like to listen. Once again, thank you so much for taking the time to celebrate with me, and I hope you have a very Merry Wednesday.